Alright, so we're going to kind of piggyback on the last presentation and really get specific now. I told you I called the throwing routine that I used to have online. It probably has more views than any video I ever had. I've taken most of the videos down that I used to have on YouTube. All again because I was working with Trotsky, and we have membership stuff and all that, which that's neither here nor there. But the routine was called the 20 most important minutes of practice because I literally believe that it is. Now we're not talking about the dynamic flex routine that leads up to throwing. We're not talking about the tubing routine that leads up to throwing. Okay, that's a part of it. We're talking about the throw. And I just don't want to get ahead of myself, but I just can't emphasize enough to you, like if you want to build, maybe you already have. I know a lot of the coaches in this room. I coached in North Carolina. I was a head coach there for 15 years in the state of North Carolina. Laney High School was my first job in Wilmington, North Carolina. And then I went to Richmond Senior High School in Rockingham for 3 years. And I got recruited to coach in Georgia at North Hall High School, and then from there I went to Glenn Academy to finish up before I decided to retire. I have a little heart condition. It's a valve issue, not blockage. That, combined with doing the infield camps, which is my greatest passion, teaching infield play, I just got at it. But the point is this: you want to build a championship program. Okay, half of the game is played on the dirt or in the field. Defense. Okay, that's half of the game. And if you can't play defense, I will go to my grave, especially at the high school level. Any level, but especially high school. You're gonna have trouble winning at a regular basis. Okay? If you can pitch it and you can field it, you can manage it. At the high school level, there's runs to be found. Okay? There's runs to be found even against the best opponents. So let's dive in. I'm going to fly through this. Maybe you take a photo of it or whatever. Dynamic stretching routine. We're always going to do that to warm the body up. We're going to execute a prehab routine. We use Jaeger. Every player had bands. I was out there with them while they stretch every day, never on their own. Once in a while, game day, I might let them do it on their own. Practice, I'm with them every second. When they're doing their tubing, every second. Okay? Because you know as well as I do, they're going to, they can't stay focused. Even the best players. And my favorite quote to them is like, and I don't mind when they're stretching a little bit, talking to each other. They hadn't seen each other a while all day. But when we start tubing and throwing, it's focused. Because when's the last time you made a play? Having a conversation. Okay? That's what I tell them. And they go, yeah, I guess you're right. So, let's get this on. I teach the why to every drill. I chunk. So when I put in a throwing routine, like if I came to a program, when I went to North Hall for the first time, when I went to Glenn Academy, I literally had to teach the guys the routine, and I would teach them in like 3. And we would learn to execute them, master them, and then I would add 3 more. But I would teach them the why. I always wanted them to know the why, so they would buy into why they're doing the drill and why it's important to do it right. I talked about monitoring pitchers, guys that pitch and play other positions. Just pitch. I have them alternate 14, 2-seam changeup all the way up to 90 feet with every drill. And just to get the feel for those off-speed pitches, arm speed, all that stuff that goes into it. Try to partner the throwers up by position as best I can. It's an athletic movement. We need to teach them to be athletes, never a robot. And you guys know muscle memory is powerful. If they grow up learning to throw with flaws, getting them to rechange that muscle pattern is extremely difficult. Okay? Being an athlete, we talked about that. I can't emphasize it enough. Use the arm stroke of your defensive position. Now, here's the deal. I'm starting to go more and more and more into short arm strokes for everybody. I mean, let's just use logic. Why do outfielders have to get long? It takes more time. It's harder to be accurate. They never can hit their cutoff, man, ever. Okay? Even when I was playing, screaming, hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. There it goes, flying over my head or at my feet or to the right. They can't repeat, just like the pitcher. If it's all about, if you can throw hard from the B slot, and you can throw accurate from the B slot, and you can be quicker from the B slot or somewhere close to that, at least inside of 90, why in the world do we want everybody to get so long? teach these long throw hops, these footwork patterns that take forever, and we're wondering why we can't throw people out. Okay, get the ball to your cutoff man. Your best infielder, usually the shortstop, is going to make an accurate throw. Now that's just kind of where I'm headed. You can do what you want to do. So I literally don't, if I were teaching this routine, my entire team would do it. And I really don't like tell them all, okay, you can be in the V slot. Infielders, I'm going to make sure they're throwing. Catchers, I'm going to make sure they're throwing tight V. The rest of them just do the drills, and they end up syncing their arms up because a lot of it is with quick feet. They end up syncing their arms up and finding shorter patterns that are more consistent. And we become elite throwers. Okay, that's how you win state championships in South Carolina and Georgia, where I was. We played for 2 in the last 5 years. I was at North Hall, and to me it was because we could throw and catch. I didn't have elite athletes that were transferring in. Okay, earlier when you watch infielders throw, so back in the day we taught like this was like, your alignment to a gun. You had to get that front elbow up. But what we found out is, elite infielders, we hardly ever have that front elbow jacked up when we throw. It's not pinned against the body, it's not jacked, it's just relaxed. And you'll see like Lindor, a lot of times when he throws, he actually has the glove out front here. So I really don't care. This is pointed in the direction of your target, but it doesn't have to be like the sights of your gun. Okay, to me that's very robotic when we teach people to go. Okay, and we just get into a nice, long. It's just a dance. It happens very naturally. So, anyways, we got to move on. We'll never get done. Finish your throw with chin to target. That's my cue. Okay, and back hip to target. Learn to throw from all arm slots. We talked about clock throwing. Aim small, miss small. Okay. I mean, literally, I'm throwing to your right eye socket, your left eye socket, your nose, your mouth, your ear, your other ear, center chest, shoulder, shoulder. You won't know it, but that's what I'm doing every single time. Okay, because when you learn to aim small, when you miss small. You don't have a lot of throwing. That's Adam Wainwright's big thing too. That's not like secret, most people know that. Footwork, okay? Now, I don't believe that you literally have to move. I used to teach us you got to move and catch the ball inside your shoulders all the time. And a 20-minute catch play routine every single day you're throwing, that's going to wear your little behind out, I just don't like them to be really lazy. So I might, in certain drills, ask them to try to get in front, and others, I just want them catching. We know we catch inside the box, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, and down with 2 hands. Anything above, to the side, down, that's all a one-handed play. You can catch one-handed inside the box, but that's when you're typically going to be able to deflect with 2 hands. So even though I said get them to move inside the shoulders, I haven't updated this recently. I would change that. Let's see. Beat the ball to the spot, dominates. We're talking about the catch play element now of it too. Learn to beat the ball to the spot, catch the ball under control with a clean catch in the pocket. The ball should make a sound. You guys watch your opposing teams throw when they come to the field? You know right away, don't you, whether you got a game on your hand. Okay, if they can throw and catch over there and move their feet and it's clean, pop, 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 pop. Not that they're all throwing rockets, they're just catching clean. I'm going, okay, strap it on. I don't say that to my team, but that's what I'm thinking of my coaching staff. We better get ready because these guys can play a little bit. Okay. And then, of course, some of the drills we're going to be able to catch and throw the ball for the least amount of time possible. So, how many were anybody new in this presentation? So I'm going to skip through the B slot thing here. Okay, we just did it. You saw that. You saw Lindor. You want to see it again?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay. So watch the things I was teaching. Watch the arm stroke come straight to the V. He's using a minimal footwork pattern here. 2 o'clock. Okay. So these are some of the lead-up drills that we do when we're trying to teach the V slot. It's called a clap drill. I do these at camp. So when you take the ball out of their hand and the glove out of their hand, they clean up really, really fast. So all you're going to see is like literally acting like you're fielding the ball out front. I had a great question earlier. Is your hand on top or to the side? It don't matter. Okay. Vizquel, to me, was the best shortstop in the history of the game. Fielded the ball with his right hand off to the side of his glove. And it would follow in here. Some are going to be on top. We just don't want this like handcuffed position, which is so unathletic. And if that ball takes a bad hop and hits my fingers, it's rip my fingernail off and break my finger. I've had it like literally split my fingers down the middle on a bad hop, go right in here between when I was a player. Not fun. So he's doing a clap drill. You'll see Taylor just doing a receive midline, both palms down. Okay, and he'll add in some footwork here. Again, this is what teaching guys how to create the V slot, this lead up stuff. Great thing about having a son who plays is you got a free, you know, you got to do all the drills all the time. Don't have to pay anybody. So he's using like a pick action, he's using his minimal footwork pattern, like an L, right to left, left to forward, which creates a perfect box. Doing little picks, self-toss picks. These are all like little versions of the drills that we do in much greater detail, but just get to see. Everything's to the V slot though, that's the point you're paying. So he's starting to implement glove action to arm action. That's the difficulty. They get the clap. There's not a single camper that I do that we do the clap if they can't get that part right. You start adding in real balls and so forth, front foot timing, drills, throwing hand only, to the V slot, boom. That's what he's doing here. All right, so here we go with the hows and whys. What time is this in? Just so I can, 11? Okay, good. All right, we'll be done. So, standing V slot, literally just gonna stand perpendicular to your partner. I'll add a video to show it to you. You know, the keys. We always want to separate midline, center line. So, everybody take your right hand, put your pads down. Take your right hand, make a fist. Open your glove hand, put it right on the center of your chest. Put your hand right in. Okay, up, back elbow, slightly up, however you want it. That's your midline, center line. That's where all separation. Okay, everything happens from there. Almost everything. There's an occasional exception. When you can repeat, when you can come midline to separate, okay, you're going to be consistent. One of the myths is to catch out front and bring the glove to your shoulder. Okay, I mean, just watch me do that and watch me go midline, and you tell me I'm getting out of the screen here. Okay, so I'm going to bring this ball that I feel right here to my shoulder. Okay, now I'm going to be Lindor. Okay, midline, center line, to V. Okay, is the most efficient, repeatable, clean, straight lines. Okay, if we were at camp, I'd say straight lines. You'd all go straight lines. Okay, because that's what scouts like to see. Those are the actions. They like straight lines. They don't like this to your shoulder. And when I'm trying to create a V with my arm, you can already see like it puts me in a weird kind of predicament. When I go here, midline, separate, boom. So this drill right here, you just start in the center of your body, and all he's doing is just pulling back. I don't really emphasize the scap that much, unless somebody's really having a problem, okay? Because they're naturally going to load the throw. Can't get any easier than this one. So everything's simple to complex. This is the easiest drill. We do them 30 seconds a piece, by the way. 30 seconds. I do time out these drills. I don't time when we throw long, okay, but I do time the drills. And everybody's on the same drill, the entire team, at the same time. Okay, boom. All right. Walking power V. So what we're going to do now is start to create some momentum towards our target. We're right-handed throwers, and everybody knows we step in opposition. But to put ourselves in a position to throw, the right's going to go first to get my body turned to the side. I'm not a robot. I'm not stepping like I'm stepping on a pitching run. I just get my foot turned diagonally, tap midline, V, and I'm in a position to throw. So I'm just creating a little rhythm. Just let that back end turn a little bit. It goes for the ride. So when we talk about follows, I'll just say it now, so I don't have to say it later, but the backside goes for the ride. You don't have to force it, okay? So when you throw, what were the cues? I said chin, and the first baseman's mid, back hip to target. So you'll see chin, and that keeps me on line, and then the back hip just turns. You don't always have to turn that back hip. If I'm not throwing hard and I'm an elite fielder, okay, if I were playing in a game right now, and I threw lightly to first base with some touch, okay, I would separate, throw, and I would stay a little more square. It's when you really let the ball go, is that back hip is going to turn more. But when I'm teaching, we teach back hip to target because nobody follows. Like hardly anybody follows your throws. When I break down video, thousands and thousands of the best players and bad ones, watch them in showcases. They'll field a ground ball and they go, and just stop. And nobody follows your throws. Nobody. Hardly. But I know you guys teach me, so yeah. So you'll see the walking power beat. Step through. Yeah, you left, right turn. Either way, the right foot is going to be the one that you engage to turn. So you're going left, right turn. But I taught that, you can go left, right. The big thing is just this right here, just this action right here to your feet. Drill. That's one beat. Going into two, tempo taps. Okay, tempo taps. So right now we're 1 minute into our throwing routine, right? 30 seconds. Boom, I say switch, tempo taps. All they're doing here is they're just tapping in the center where I just taught you guys, right here. Boom, boom, back. Back 3 or 4 times. Beat slot, throw. Okay. When appropriate, let that back hip follow. Very simple, easy to do. Taper is, pretty relaxed, free and easy guy. He's been taught his whole life to be that way. So he just has a lot of freedom in what he does.
Trent, when you're doing the walking throws in the last one, do you care if they see what they start with?
No.
Okay.
No, you can go like left, right, turn, or you can just go right, turn. Big thing when you go to turn, that's when you go center to beat. Boom. Okay. Drill number 3, skaters or boxers, whatever you want to call them. They struggle with this one, with the footwork. Initially, you got to get them to be in a good athletic position to start with. So the feet are outside shoulders, knees are bent. Now we're literally just going to float along the earth, front and back, front and back. They get against their backside, throw and follow. So you got to get them. A lot of times I have them do it without the ball. Just get them to try to just dance, be relaxed, like this, skaters and boxers. Now we add in, okay? Okay, so you'll see Taper doing it. There's no certain number that you got to, skaters that you got to do. You just create a rhythm when you get against that backside. And you see how quick I get off my backside and the front side. So if I have a long arm stroke, my arm's not going to be able to catch up. That's the purpose of the drill. And learn to get off your backside quickly. He doesn't get a complete back hip turn because he's not throwing very hard. Jump backs. Okay, we use this in hitting. We use it in throwing. So from my normal athletic position, let you guys write it down if you want. From my normal athletic position, I'm throwing this way. My back foot doesn't have to come in significant, it just comes in a little. So if you can see the seam of this stage, okay, I'm in. So when I load against my backside, I'm only going about 12 inches from my normal athletic position. But it seems further because I pull this foot up. So I'm loading against, okay, you'll see me get against, not over my back hip. I'm literally loading like a hip hinge type position. Now it's time to follow. So the more dynamic he starts to get, the more you're going to start to see the follow action taking place. after this drill, 2.5 minutes in our throwing routine. And I promise you, you start doing this stuff, you got guys, 8th grade coming into the 9th grade over the summer. Your 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders are doing it every day. You're walking up and down the line. I always keep my glove with me, right? Because you're going to get smoked in the side of the face if you're not paying attention. How many of you like the sound of a chain link fence? Anybody in here? Okay. Call that playing fetch. Not catch, but there's the jump backs. So we got two-legged clocks facing the partner. Let's discuss some keys to the clock. So learning to throw from all different angles, especially for infielders, is absolutely vital. Catchers as well. Really, everybody is just being an athlete, right? So when we talk about clocks, we're talking about, we don't go to 12, we'll go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have to stay connected. So what you typically find is my normal release point is here. So this is 2, 3. That's 3, 4. All I'm doing is tilting down with it and staying connected. We don't just go. Now, when we get really, really, really good at the higher levels, there might be times when I do that. But typically, I stay connected. So I'm going to be 2, 3, 4. And then 3 and 4 go uphill to your partner, like a double play feed. So you're learning to throw from different slots. And it's really just a tilt.
How far the distance?
They're probably 45 feet right now. Halfway from first to second. There's really no stress. This is low intent throwing. So there's no stress. You just want them to have some freedom to be able to just throw without feeling like the guy's right on top of you. And it's not so far that you got to put too much effort into it. We're really getting loose through the process, even though we've dynamic flexed and we've done the tubing. Okay. All right, two-legged clock, same thing, except I just turn towards my partner. So now I'm with my partner, I'm squared up to you, we're doing the same drill. Boom, boom, okay? Just changing the foot pattern from being square to now being to the side. That's it, that's the only difference. Stuff works magic over time. The funny thing is, there's nothing hard about it. You just, the coaches just got to get out of the dugout and get down there and teach it, stay with it. One-legged clocks are awesome. Okay, so now what we're doing, we throw with right leg only. So the left leg is going to go in the air, and they learn how to create this torque with their upper body, where the elbows work against each other like a rubber band, boom, right in here. Okay, to be an athlete. One-legged clocks. Put your foot down in between. I challenge them actually as they get really good at this to never have to put the foot down. This is body control, being an athlete. Same thing, we're going to do one-legged clocks now perpendicular to our partner like this. Okay, throwing that way. If you ever seen Ozzie Smith, you ever seen when he does big clips of him when he's that short and he goes, okay? Like, yeah. Just being an athlete, it's all with teaching. By the way, I'm like you. If I go to a presentation and I see something like I have a throwing routine and here it is. And if I see something like you teach it or Nate teaches it or I see another team do something, I go, I really, really like that. And there's a couple drills that I've added even since this presentation. Okay, I'd love, having the ball down on the ground, stay, and they come up to the side of it, okay, throw, that's one of the drills we've added. I do one now where they turn, this is Nate's drill, they go left, right, V and throw, that's one of the initial drills to start, but I don't have it in the presentation, so my point is, you decide what you want in your routine. 3, 2, 1 arm fakes, throw and follow, great drill. Guys really stink at arm fakes. Generally speaking, they don't even know why they need them. I give them the scenario, right? The scenario is first and second, less than 2 outs, ground ball, double play. Okay, Second baseman throws, he bobbles it, throws to me. I know I got no shot at the runner at first. That initial guy that was on second is now possibly going to be rounding third. Third base coach is going to be much more reluctant to let him round or even be aggressive to possibly go home. He's convinced I'm throwing to first. So, the practical application is going to be this. Okay, you're dead at third. If you round it or if you're taking off home, I reset my feet, throw there, you're out. So they need to learn how to use arm fakes. This is called a 3-2-1. So the way the drill is done is this: 3 shuffles, 1, 2, 3, full arm fake. 2, full arm fake. 1, throw and follow. That's my part. Okay, so they're learning how to keep their feet, how to maintain posture and control as they turn. You'll see that here. 3, 2, 1, throw, follow. One more time. Reverse 3, 2, 1. This blows people's minds. When you first teach your kids, they'll be all over the place. Okay? What's the one play, high school coaches, that we mess up more than any other play in a first and third scenario? Runner on third, runner on first. I'm the shortstop or second baseman. We got the guy between first and second in the rundown, and that guy at third is getting ready to take off home. You with me? They send them when I'm running the guy back to first. And they say 4-4-4, and I got to turn inside, not glove side, this way. That throw is butchered more than any other throw. Backstop, right, left, spike. I mean, they cannot throw a strike to the plate. But no one ever works on it. So the reverse, 3, 2, 1, follow. Okay? So now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, home. Back in. 1, 2, home. 1, throw, follow. So they're just learning how to get their body turned and get their feet underneath them as if they were throwing home. Don't ever be intimidated by teaching these drills. Okay? I mean, you guys, there's nothing special about any of this stuff. It's just being disciplined enough, put it in, teach it right, teach the whys, and stay on top of it. Home, 2, home, 1, throw, follow. That's a reverse 3, 2, 1, follow. 3 shuffles, 2 shuffles, 1 shuffle, throw. Doesn't get any easier than this. First time I catch the ball from my partner, 3 shuffles. 1, 2, 3, throw. I'll be off the table there. Okay, catch the ball back. Next one, 2 shuffles. Throw, follow. Next time I catch the ball back, yes, you guessed it. 1, throw, follow. Okay. Just learning to, I dictate my footwork patterns. That's all it's teaching. Okay, when I can take extra steps, when I'm not. He's following a little bit more, he has more momentum. There's the 2. There's the 1. Boom. Alright, it's an amazing drill right here. I think I learned this one from Nate, I'm pretty sure. It's a full sprint. It's like a 5-yard literal full sprint turned into 2 shuffles, throw and follow. If you have no body control, the balls will fly everywhere here. I mean, literally make sure they're spread out. They're going to smoke the guy next to them, okay? I literally make sure but when they get good at this, when you can throw on the run, okay, you can control your body, you can control your arm stroke, and that ties into like rundowns and stuff too. Just being able to be on the run and make a throw, even though we don't throw this hard. Also, guys that don't follow their throws. Okay, when you're on a full sprint, and you carry that into 2 shuffles, when you throw, you're going to follow. You can't like stop, you're just going too fast. So it teaches them to follow. 5 yards, double tap, throw and follow. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, but Tabor is not, his back hip, when he's throwing the mess out of it, when he's trying to really let it go, it'll turn. But even running full sprint, doing these taps, he's still not going 100%. He was like demoing the drills. I'm like, do this, do that. A lot of these he did in high school, so he did. So now we got the minimal footwork, full sprint into 1 shuffle, throw and follow. That's the next one on there. Body control. Full sprint, one tap, throw and fly. 180, blind throws. This is like your spin pick to second base, blind pick. All my players do them to learn to throw to a blind target. Okay, all we're doing is facing away from our partner. We spin, land, right, left, and throw. Okay, unless they're left, and they would land with opposite shoulder. So my partner's there, I'm away from him, throwing that way. Spin, right, left, I gotta stay on line. So, you know, most of them are gonna wanna keep falling off in that direction, that's why the chin and back hip have to go here target. And they learn to get confidence throwing to a blind target. I can't even see. Follow, dance with the ball. Okay. Right, left. To the follow. You know, nothing that I dislike more than when I go to a presentation and I feel like somebody's like making stuff up so it sounds smart. I just want you to know, like, we literally do this routine. So this exact routine when I was at Atlanta Academy is implemented just about every day. So we have what's called an A routine, which is where we're doing everything. We had a B routine, which we would modify just a little bit, maybe half the amount of drills. On a game day, I didn't force them to do any throwing drills. They would just basically just start, you know, getting loose, and a lot of them would do them on their own. I just didn't feel like it was necessary to go through an entire throwing routine before a game. Okay, we were getting ready. That's up to you how you do it. All right, reverse 180s. Exact same drill, spinning to the opposite side. This again is that play where you have to get your feet underneath you to throw home. You know, this one here where you run down, boom, 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 boom. So now all we're doing is right, left, throw, follow. Okay, they're spinning throwing side instead of glove side. So 30 seconds. Reverse, right, left, throw, follow. And they learn to completely get their feet underneath them. What happens in the game is they cut themselves short because they're in a hurry to throw to the plate, so they're never really in a, you know, have good direction. That's part of the problem. Of course, when we're doing anything that requires picks or throws to different bases, we're knee to belt high, I never want them, if you don't tell them, they're going to try to put it right there, and when that adrenaline's flowing, they're going to tighten that arm a little bit, and you're going to throw it in the dirt. So I want a little margin for error. If they can hit knee to belt high, it's a little low, it's a perfect throw. A little high, we still got time to get the tag on. That's not in the throwing routine. This came to mind as we were doing it. 360s is full rotation, full body turn. Follow me here, John. So we're going to go right, left spin, right, left throw. So we're literally learning to like create this like world spinning around us and still be able to make a throw, which when you go up the middle as an infielder, you know, you got to spin a lot of times full side. So it's right, left. I don't care how many times I got to walk to get it. It's right, left, jump, right, left, throw. And I can just do it right from here. Jump, right, left, throw. Boom. When they first do it, they'll be all over the place, okay? And a lot of times I say, how do you walk? Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, jump, right, left, throw. That's as they're learning how to do it, okay? 360s. At camp, when we do the elite academies, a lot of times we don't do 360s because liability is an issue. They kill somebody. I teach it to them, demonstrate it to them, but they don't get to do it. Right, left, throw on the side. Right, left, throw on the side. Just keep it simple. Okay? So now we're going to infield specific. Okay? There's numerous ones. We'll kind of fly through them. Just think of the plays. I call it, and you might want to write it down, I call it position-specific throwing. It's actually called specialty throwing by position. It's called specialty throwing by position. So right here we're talking about infield. So my catchers would literally be doing rolled out bunts to themselves, throws to second, throws to third, with their catching partner, who both are geared up in their gear always through their entire throwing routine. Catchers are always in full gear. They stretch, they tube, and they throw in full gear. I want them to forget they have these things on their body. It has become who they are, okay? So, but the outfielders are doing like simulated, you know, going glove side, spin, ground balls, regular get behind with some momentum. And then the pitchers, if I have POs, they're doing all the pick series with one another. Okay, it's a 2-minute segment of practice, especially throwing by position. We're dealing with infielders specifically here. So you're going to see minimal footwork. So you're going to see him go right here, get right to left, left to forward, throwing fly. Boom, simulating fielding a ground ball. Okay, L footwork with a shuffle. So this is a 4-step pattern. This is the one that was twice as accurate as the one you just did. When you saw the diagram earlier from Dr. Frawley. So you'll see him add in that extra footwork, and that's by choice, because he has time. Boom, boom, throwing fly. Right, left, right, left. You'll see it again. Boom, boom. So glove tap to keep his momentum. I would say 90% of Tabor's ground balls in the last 2 years, he has been a shuffle before the throw. He gets the ball out fast, he's efficient, and just hits the first base, hopefully in the check. Step through shuffle, this is like, you know, you can gain a lot more ground here. I really don't teach this anymore. I used to teach it a lot. We're literally, instead of just going right to left and left to forward, now we're driving that right foot through, okay, to gain more ground. I don't have a problem with it. I don't like the right foot going behind at all. I'm not a big behind guy. I don't like you to field and go like this, because if you just watch my momentum, where did it go? So yeah, it went away from my target, okay? But if I take my right foot through, I can gain a little bit more. If I have time, and again, that's going to be dictated by time. If Trey Turner's going, okay, when I field the ball, I'm literally going to get my feet off the ground and get that ball going. That's as fast as I can get it in the air, and that's where I want it. If I feel like I have time, and I want to drive that right foot through, okay, I can like literally cut down another 15 yards before I throw, if I have time and want to do it. All I like to teach now is we just go right to left, left to forward, add in another glove tap if we want to. If you give high school guys too many options, it screws them up, okay? But if I have an elite athlete that does things naturally, I just don't mess with it. Just be you, babe. Just do your thing, okay? Here's a step through with a shuffle. See that right foot coming more through instead of to the left. Definitely don't like behind at all. Going hard up the middle, it might have to happen. This is part of momentum, getting the body under control. Do or die, backhand. So he's going right here, simulating more of a ball taking him away, getting his right foot behind him, directly perpendicular to first base. Okay. If you feel with your right foot in front on a do or die backhand, you're going to have to take an extra step. You're going to have to go left to right. This is nothing to plan against with that left foot. Does that make sense? So if I have my left foot forward on a do or die, either that or I can do a jump rope if I got that kind of on. But if not, I'm going to have to take one extra step. And when you're do or die, you can't like move your feet around. Ooh, I need to be up this foot or that foot. You're literally just trying to get there. All right, second base. Pivot footwork. So let's see which one he's doing here. If he's doing left foot on, left foot off. I think that's the first one he does. So now he came across. Left foot on, right foot across. Okay, we don't have to clear nearly as much anymore. We all have to slide into base. I was showing you without a base because a lot of guys don't have throw down bases to use. We don't. They just have to be able to simulate the footwork. Okay. And all you're doing on this, by the way, is you're just taking your right knee to the ball. No one ever taught me that, ever, including pro ball. Would have helped so much. I'm going to share with you guys real quick. So, I'm not going to preset my left foot on the bag except when I'm teaching guys how to do it. But when I'm coming across, there's an element of timing to it. Okay, it's really right foot timing. So if the ball is on this seam right here, so I'm literally on second base. You're my third baseman going to me right now, and the throw takes me right here. In my younger days, when I didn't know, I would still bring my right foot over here. I would get tied up across my body. So you would see something like this, and then I'm like out of sync. Now my feet are on the ground, ball's supposed to be gone, and it's still in my hand back here. All I had to do is just take, if someone just say, take your right knee or right foot to the ball. So left foot's on, boom. It just keeps me centered on the receive. If the throw takes me up here, just take my right foot to the ball, boom, I'm centered. Okay, if it's right on me, centered, gone. Okay, see that tight V? And that's what you see when you see guys that have, look how fast his hands are. I work with young guys, they think fast hands looks like this. You know, like you have to like make all this crazy action. It's literally just, so here's my double play. Gone. I mean, it's just V, whip, done. Okay, usually from a 3 o'clock, especially shortstops coming across. V, whip. Okay, I can show you video after video to prove it, but you're just gonna have to trust me. Let's move on. We're about done. Let's see, going shortstop, pivots. So he's simulating coming across the bag, like I just showed you, and then he'll show you without the bag. Once they know, you don't need a bag. Just simulate the action. Okay.
So the right knee to throw on the shortstop and second baseman, Steve Gates, same premise.
Yeah. You don't want to get ahead of yourself. So like, you know, I would teach back in the day, you want to get momentum to first base. So when we come across, we're going to be like trying to come here. And that's when I would have the time get stuck on the backside back here. Once my arm is strong enough, I just come right to it. Boom. If the throw happens to take me back here. If it's up there, I just go with it. Just take the right knee or right foot right to the ball, and you'll be centered up every time. It's that simple. Nobody taught me. All right. He was doing it without the base. So long toss. The keys with long toss for me is I don't dictate distance or reps. That's a player by player. I mean, Tabor might have pitched, 100 pitches yesterday, and he might be, having to cut himself, not do as much, or he might want to lengthen it out a little more. That's totally on him, how he does it. But you have to create some momentum, use your legs, get good follow. I don't force them to throw at a certain height. I just want good direction. I want good feet, however you're going to use your feet. I will, some like the pitchers like to step behind. I don't mind in this when they're throwing long. I want my infielders either using a shuffle or a step through. And then good arm action, stay on line, see if you can get the ball to ride through, however far you're throwing. So this was off season. I don't even know how, it's not important how far this is. It's not super far. Got his feet underneath him. He did a little step behind right there. But he's working hard to try to maintain his momentum and stay online. So pull downs, when we come back in, when we're in shape, the guys are going to get on top at 90, either from 120 or 90. Again, I don't dictate the number of reps. I just want them to find the release point, especially the infielders on the tight beat, even the outfielders, because they can't get on top of anything when they throw. And so they're going to do X amount of, whatever they feel on the reps to get on top and find that good release point. Nothing fancy. And I'm constantly talking to them about aim small, miss small, So now we're doing quick release. These are the last two. No feet at all. This is a deflection drill where they learn how to be efficient. So I love that still photo of Tabor. You can see the tight V right there. This is the still of an action shot. So his glove is on center. It's hard to tell, but his chest is totally turned to the side. His elbow's up, and he's ready to get rid of that thing. So they're learning how to make that transition. And if I'm playing catch with you, I'm throwing to your throwing side or you're throwing to my throwing side. It's 20 seconds. It's a competition. Which, by the way, if you want to write it down, 45 feet, which is halfway, between first and second or second and third, whatever line you're on. Okay, 20 seconds. The record that is 22 reps at 45 feet. For what I've seen with my own eyes. Okay, you got to make sure they're 45 feet. put the stopwatch on, ready, go, boom, and they will learn how to clean that up over time. They can't move their feet unless it's a bad throw, then they can move their feet, okay? Because the next one, let's watch that one here. So they learn to throw from where the ball is received. If it's received low, they tilt with the clock, right, that they used earlier, and they're just repping out. Same thing with the quick feet, quick release. So I call it QF, QR, quick feet, quick release. Okay, last drill in the series. Now they're getting their feet underneath them. The big thing here is you don't want to gain a ton of ground. Yes, you want to get your feet moving early before you receive the ball. You don't want to go out and get the ball. You don't want to pin it against your body, but you are going to be much tighter because we're trying to deflect. And when we're deflecting, if I were to show you big leaguers right now, turn in two from shortstop, they're literally catching the ball from the second baseman this close to their body. They let it come that much. Boom, it's gone. They don't go out and then pull it in, and that takes too much time. Okay, so we're still trying to throw to our partner's throwing side. We're using deflection. So if I'm playing with Tabor right now, if we're doing this, I'm gonna, I'm just gonna pretty much be just get my feet underneath. I'm not trying to get all this distance underneath. That's time. I'm carrying the ball with me. Guys getting down the line. So when it actually hits the glove, it doesn't have much forward movement. Notice everything midline, center line, separate, V-slide. That's one thing I want you guys to see. This. Remember that. So wherever I catch the ball, so if I catch the ball out here, midline. Against my body, across my body, midline. Ground ball, midline. Okay? Slow roller. You might not be able to pull it all the way in, depending on what type of slow roller you're doing. You may have to do a quick separation release. But everything really works from the midline. If I rake out here, shortstop again, now my second baseman's right there. I'm coming across the bag, he feeds me right here. Rake to my midline to V-slide. Of course, if it's really, really bad, I would spin. But if I can rake midline, that's all that I do. Midline. Across my body, backhand, midline. So all this stuff that happens right here is always the same. And when you start to be able to repeat, it's quick, it's efficient, it's clean. Watch the best big leaguers, that's how they do it. And they hardly make any throwing errors. At the highest level, show of hands. More errors made fielding or throwing? College and above. Fielding or throwing? Got to know it like you know your neighbor. Throwing. Yep. More throwing errors by far than fielding. Okay? So the emphasis has to be on the what? Throwing. Okay? If you want to be clean, you got to practice with intent, focus, aim small and small. Should be the same stuff, except my phone number. You got it there. You got like 2 minutes. Any questions? Modify it. It works. I promise you it works. If I took over another team right now, that program would be the first thing that I do. Okay? We're going to put that throwing routine in until they can master it. Once they can master it, we repeat every day. To me, high intent throws versus low intent throws, I will say this. I'd write those two down. Right? Low intent throwing, high intent throwing. Because you can do low intent throwing every day of the calendar year if you want to. In the DR, the Latin countries, they throw every day. So what's low intent? That's like all the drills I get up to like 90 feet. That's it, low intent. I mean, that's like us throwing VP. I could go out there right now with my arm not in shape and throw 600 pitches. That's an extreme example, so I might be a little sore on that one, but if I'm in any kind of decent shape from throwing on a regular basis, I can throw VP 600 every day of the year, and it's not going to bother me. I'm going to step through, V-slot, whip, boom, that takes no effort. Okay? That's called low intent. High intent are the pull downs and throwing long, where you're really starting to like let it go, taking some energy. You got to be in shape to do that kind of stuff. And you need some time off from those high intent throws. I used to be a believer, you got to shut it down for 6 to 8 weeks. my guys like to play catch, and they literally can be disciplined enough just to stay like 45, 50 feet and do some clean throwing drills. The way the guys are right now, what are they doing? They're like doing showcases all the way through December and January, playing games. They better kind of have their arm in decent shape, because if they don't, and they go do that high intent throwing, like game throws, pitching, fielding, showing your arm off at a showcase, we got problems, right? By speaking your language, you guys know, right? Yeah. Any questions? Hopefully, something in one of these two presentations will be able to help you down in the future, and I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.